This week, Alice Cooper week, we're going to look at Poison and No More Mr. Nice Guy by Alice Cooper, really cool songs. And let's kick off with the first riff. Now let's focus first of all on why I like this riff so much. It's all obviously opinion and personal preference, but there's some pretty cool techniques for everybody which I'm hoping you'll enjoy. We're taking a basic D5 power chord and you're building a riff from that with an add 9, which I'm going to explain now. Now make sure you've got your PDFs for the two songs in front of you. We're going to start with the Poison like we said, and your first 4 notes are... Now you'll notice that when the ring finger comes into play, you can see the first finger is relaxing pressure, because if I keep him down I might end up with this. And I've got both strings running. I only want to hear one string at a time. You can see that first finger lift as the ring finger comes down. Once you've done that, your pinky has to go all the way to fret 9 on the 3rd string, so slow motion. Now, this technique where you keep coming back to the D where my first finger is tapping now is called pedaling. In other words, you're coming or working from a note and coming back to it all the time. After that 9, you come back to the 7, back to the 5, then the 7, and the 5 again. So your first bar has got a repetitive D note pedaling its way through the bar. One more time, slow motion. And you'll see that sort of almost like a seesaw movement. I'm going to do a bit of a different angle now, so you can see the fingers move a bit better then. You can see the picking hand as well in the background. Watch the movement. Okay, you can see as the pinky comes down, it lifts. When the ring finger comes down, it lifts. That's the first bar. Okay, for the second bar, you now go to fret number 4 on the 4th string. Slide it up and come down to the string beneath it, also on the 5th fret. So those 3 notes is only the first finger. You can see the movement. And it's twice in a row, followed through by ring finger again to fret number 7, and then onto fret number 5. Let's have a look at that combined together, bars 1 and 2. Here we go. I'm going to count to 4 so you can join me. 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now what sounds quite cool with this song specifically is the dynamics of the pinch harmonics, palm damping, letting the notes ring. For example, maybe start with some palm damping. And the second part, maybe hint on a pinch harmonic like that. It sounds pretty cool. And then at the end, so you could actually add in your own pinch harmonics, palm damping, and take it a bit outside the original song. So if I'm doing it like this now, for example, a bit of a more of an overall view, something like this sounds pretty sweet. Bit faster than the original, but you got the idea of the palm damping, pinch harmonics, let the notes ring. Make the song your own. Don't just learn a song note for note. Learn it and then say, how can I make it my own style? How can I make it more creative? Okay, now the second bar in brown on your PDF, it says do once before verse 1. It starts off the same, but then it sort of repeats itself if you skip the first 2 brown notes. So it's going to go, and then you end with, so it's going to go like this. So if you join them together, 2, 3, 4, and that's before it leads into the power chord, which then sort of gradually fades out like that, and you start singing. Okay, we're only doing the introduction over here because what I wanted to do was actually learn the basic riff, the signature sound. So when you hear this, you know this is Poison by Alice Cooper. Now, just quickly, we mentioned add 9, and When you do this, that note there that the pinky's playing at the first part of the riff, the reason why we call this an add 9 is because if you play the D major scale and you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that note that I'm playing there is this note here. So it's a D5 with that added 9. Now I just wanted to mention that so that those of you who are actually studying a bit of chord theory, when you hear things like add 9s and 13ths and things like that, you get familiar with what the numbers are telling you. Those numbers mean the notes position that they're found in the relative major scale, but we're not going to go further in depth than that. Our goal over here, pinky exercise, learn a cool riff, some palm damping, pentatonics, and now to song number 2. Get ready for No More Mr. Nice Guy. It's an old song from the late 70s, I think, and it's going to sound something like this. Now, slow motion, you're starting with fret 8 and 9, and you're only playing strings 2 and 3. But listen for the percussiveness, for those tiny little silent pauses as well. Now, normally when we think overdrive, we normally think power chords, we normally think, for example. You don't always have to use power chords, you can use this, which are fourths, and there'll be fifths later, and major thirds, minor thirds, a whole lot of other things, but we'll do a power chord study later. For now, No More Mr. Nice Guy. But be aware that whenever you use distortion, you don't have to play normal fifths. Okay, one more time, nice and close. You'll notice that fingers 1 and 2 sort of swap positions. There's the first one, there's your 8 and 9, and then it goes to 8, 7. After that, you go to 6, 7, small movements, so far. We got that. And then you have to move down to fret number 4 for a long slide up to fret number 8. And we're going to slide with the ring finger. The reason why I want the ring finger is because in the first finger is free for the 6. Ring finger comes back to the 8 on the 4th string. Pull off from the 8 to the 6 and pinky onto fret 9 at the end there. So you'll slide. So if you come in a bit closer and you do the combination, we have this. And the trick there is to play it 3 or 4 times in a row without a pause and then gradually pick up speed. And you get a really cool retro riff from the 70s. Okay, hope you enjoyed the Alice Cooper week. If you want the complete songs, we can prepare them. There's nice lead solos inside there, there's nice chords inside there. Alice Cooper's known for having some really, really cool guitarists in the past. He's even used Steve Vai, Joe Satriani. So listen to some Alice Cooper, listen to the guitar parts, you're going to learn a lot. Hope you have an awesome week. Take care.